Well, the mouthpiece of the judiciary. Let me start by giving you a short introduction of my point of view and kind of my life motto. In 2012, when I started working for the judiciary, I, of course, had a job interview with the president, and we discussed about communications. He was he was asking me why is it so interesting for people to hear and learn about the judiciary. And it was a really vivid conversation. I can remember it up until today. And I told him that all day, every day, people talk about legal cases, rulings issued by judges, their opinions on it. And I told him it's important that you feed that with facts, with information, because it all contributes to the social debate people have about the judiciary, the faith and the trust they have in the judiciary. So it's important to invest in communications. It's important to be proactive. It's important to tell the story true and transparent, because it's not about all PR stories. I once worked at a PR agency. It's about the real deal. It's important to go out and tell your story. So that's my life motto, and that's also what I aim for the judiciary, for the Dutch Council to achieve. Be true and transparent, and be proactive in everything you share and do. Well, if you look at the Dutch situation, I think it's important to tell you something about how it's organized in the Netherlands. I don't know if all of you have background knowledge about it, and then I'll tell something about how we organize it and our goals. And if there are any questions, just tell and ask. In Dutch, newspapers and radio and television programs publish a lot about the judiciary, but more importantly about cases and rulings issued by judges. In the past 20 years, you can see an increased amount of media coverage, and the ranges are from journalistic documentaries about the judiciary and the court cases to more infotainment-like reality programs in which court cases are filmed and people in front of judges are filmed. And one of the greatest successes of the past 20 years is the TV program De Rijdende Rechter, the driving judge. It is a judge, an older judge, who travels across the country in his car in the role of arbitrator, and he settles quarrels about neighbors over a tree offense or noise complaints. So that's what he does. He ends the fight or the quarrel they have, and that program is broadcasted for 20 years now, and it's a large success. It's amazing that it's on TV so long. Dutch newspapers also feature daily reports on court hearings across the country. I don't think it's different in any other European country, but we have journalists and criminal reporters who closely monitor developments within the judiciary. They write about court cases, about rulings of judges, and major criminal cases are dominant in the media, but also high-profile, direction-defining cases where the public debate is going, that are also a lot of immediate attention for those cases. Social media is also in the Netherlands growing, such as every other European country. Mainly X, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram are the largest social media in the Netherlands. And we see that the conversation about judges and judges' decisions is held with increasingly frequency online as well. So not only in traditional media, but also online, there's a lot of discussions about us. What we also see is that criminal reporters and journalists in the court rooms are twittering and doing some kind of online live report on what they see and what they hear. One of our best-known court reporters, Saskia Belleman, she writes for the daily newspaper, almost daily reports on social media on court proceedings. She does it via X. She has, well, about 200,000 followers. And she not only reports on X on daily criminal cases, but she also answers questions from our followers. And she's also a welcome guest in talk shows, where she is invited to explain some developments on court cases or within the judiciary. Saskia Belleman is well informed, so she's not one of us, but she's doing a great job in informing the public about, well, the judiciary. This increased attention for the judiciary has led to increased importance, I think, of proactive and professional communication as an organization. Because in entertainment-style programs, there are so many chances of and risks that complicated judicial deliberations are dismissed in superlatives or in a soundbite, and it does not have the right character of the decision that was made. So it's important to elaborate more and communicate proactively, so people can hear and read your story and the right information about the judiciary. Well, in the Netherlands, we have a press guideline. The press guideline outlines how the judiciary facilitates journalists in performing their jobs properly. Like you all know, public access to the justice is legally embedded in Dutch law, and it aims to enable monitoring of judicial decisions. So journalists have an important role in monitoring the judicial decisions. So it's important that they have information to do so. The press guideline specifies the services that we, the courts, offer to journalists, the information they get, may have prior to a trial or during a trial, and the opportunities they have to report during a hearing. And those opportunities can be making a live recording, taking a soundbite, live Twitter, etc., etc. And we can inform them, or we inform them in which way they can obtain access to rulings, because well, 4% of all the verdicts are published on our website. But if you want to have a verdict that's not published, journalists can ask the communications departments to hand over them the verdict they want to have. At this moment, we're updating the press guideline to ensure it's in line with developments in society, in our society, and well, one of the things we're going to add to the press guideline is the increasing opportunities that there are to report, but also the requests we get from media to do a live report or a live stream of a court case. But we also need to adjust the press guideline with some dilemmas we're experiencing at this very moment, because there are dilemmas in court cases involving significant security risks for judges or for prosecutors or other participants involved. And I'm not quite sure yet how we adequately implement public access to the judiciary and public access from journalists to the judiciary in these kind of cases with all kinds of safety and security risks. So that's something we're working on right now. The judiciary has been long acquainted with press judges. Those are one of the people, if you're speaking about the mouthpiece of the judiciary, you see in the media, the press judge. It's a judge that has been assigned to the additional task of explaining judges' rulings and decisions to the media. Because in the Netherlands, it's not customary for judges to comment on their own ruling. The judge speaks through his verdict. It's one of the mantras we have. So if there are any questions or explanation is needed from the media, the press judge is available to answer questions for radio, television, or the written media. There are several press judges in each court, and at each court of appeal, of course, and they're originated from various legal fields. So there's a press judge who does criminal cases, or a press judge who does administrative cases. So from various legal fields. The role of the press judge is evolving over time. The primary task of them is to provide substantive clarification to the media, but the press judge also fulfills a role as an ambassador nowadays within the judiciary for comprehensible and accessible communications in, for example, oral rulings. More and more press judges, more and more judges do when they have a ruling, they'll do it verbal or oral. I need to say oral, and they do it in really accessible communication. So a small verdict and the complete judicial verdict you can read online. In most cases, press judges give a short quote to radio or television, some short clarification, and very occasionally a press judge joins a talk show or a current affairs program to give more comment on trial or court rulings during a live broadcast. Several weeks ago, one of the press judges of the Court of Amsterdam was recently a guest on national television. Op 1, the talk show is called, where he elaborated on the court's decision in the Marengo case. I don't know if you know that case. It's one of the largest criminal cases here in the Netherlands. More than 17 suspects accused of participation in criminal organizations and involved in murders and liquidations preparations. Well, it's essential for press judges to provide briefings to the media, to be guests on talk shows or current affair programs, to explain how judges reach their decision, because in that way, we as an organization actively contribute to the information the public as a society receives about us. And it's really important that they talk when they talk about it, they do talk about the right facts and figures. So in that way, we contribute to the debate which is going on. So press judges therefore fulfill an important role in the judiciary's proactive communication and media policy. As mentioned before, the media attention in the Netherlands has increased over the past 2 years, and it's a development that ran parallel to a broader change in our society. A society in which institutions no longer self-evident or are trusted without a question. Authority must be earned by institutions, and you can do so by being responsive, interact with society, and be actively accountable and transparent in what you do. So society demands organizations that take it upon themselves to communicate and to act proactively and professionally accessible, and to the media, but also directly to society itself. Through communications via the website or social media. So in several communication strategies, we have expressed a proactive communications policy that contributes to the trust in the judiciary, our judiciary, and to build connections with society. And the gaining principles in doing so are that we are proactive communications with our own story. So we defined four guiding principles. We communicate active in legal cases of social significance. We take initiative in the public debate when the democratic role is at stake. For example, in our annual report, we provide extensive information about the role of the judge. We also do that in schools and via a special youth website, Recht voor Jou. And we explain the principle of the judicial process. And last but not least, we review our communication to people seeking justice to further improve these communication and better reflect their wishes and their expectations. So let's tell a little bit more about these guiding principles. Active case communications. Since 2013, we communicate more frequently about court cases that are pending or will conduct in the near future. We do this providing journalists with advanced information, using hearing schedules to tell them what to expect during a case, give them information about parties involved, etc., etc. But we also communicate these things on the website with news items or special themed or well-known case pages. And this proactive information also helps when you need to give information to answer questions on social media or answer questions of journalists. So I hope it's really clear when you go and see. It's a really clear page. You can find the exact status of our court case or the background information you need to write about it. We also found that actively participating in the public debate helps to maintain and strengthen confidence in the judiciary. Be there when you are being discussed is the mantra. We contribute to this as the Council of the Judiciary by taking position in our chairman's annual report, for example. This report appears within the publication of our annual report. But we also do so by a relevant newsworthy New Year's address by our chairman and by being a guest in current affair programs or talk shows. Our chairman, Henk Navis, acts as the figurehead for the judiciary. So anytime political administrative issues are affecting the judiciary, he will participate in public debate or be guest in national media. And we also have several judges, deployed judges from our national or international spokespersons pool. This national spokespersons pool consists of judges who normally work at regular district courts or courts of appeal, but they also represent us before the media. We give them regular media training and coach and guide them when they appear on national television or radio programs, and they also do interviews with newspapers. And these judges speak on behalf of the Council of the Judiciary about their own jurisdiction, so criminal if you're a criminal judge, and share a national view or a national concern. In the Netherlands, we have great concerns about the youth services. So one of our judges, juvenile judge, appears in talk shows and newspapers expressing those concerns and talking with the media about it. Large goal we need to reach is clarifying the role of the judge. So every inhabitant of the country knows what judges do and how it works. So we actively provide information and clarification on the role of the judge in our society. We do so by illustrating the different types of judges. We explain how they reach a decision, what dilemmas they are facing. And by doing so, we also give the judge and the judiciary a face. And we believe that giving them a face, people can trust a face. So we help to build trust in the judiciary. To provide information to the public, we use a number of social media channels, X, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, the website, and the special website for the youth. And once in a while, we publish a special magazine to give expression to the several judges. For several years now, we also have been using rechtspraak reporters. And that is these are often students who report on criminal cases on their own channels. We train and mentor these young people to perform their reporting functions well. So they're not journalists; they're students, and we train them to do to report on everything about the judiciary on their own channels to help to inform younger people, because we as the judiciary normally don't reach younger people in our normal media coverage. And it's a joy to see that one of these former rechtspraak reporters is now a respected court reporter, and another one is practicing law. So they also grow in what they're doing. So that's nice to see. Since 2020, we've invested in improving our communications to those who are seeking legal remedies, and not only by using understandable language more than before, but also by using customer journeys and customer surveys to find out how we can better assist citizens in going to court. Because studies often show that citizens who interact with the court or are in a court proceeding often find it a black box. So they're very uncertain and worrying whether they're doing the right things when the judge is going to verdict, etc., etc. So we are hoping that with our approach to more accessible communications, we give them more control and clarity. We create animations, step-by-step plans to explain how it works. And we also develop the writing aid to assist people in writing a letter to the court. One of the latest developments is our active presence on social media. So Mouthpiece of the Judiciary is also on social media, not only by sending information, but also by listening to what the people say. So we have an online team specially dedicated for the web care and online services and online communications. They actively answer questions, whether it's a phone number of the registry or a court somebody needs, or if there's a complaint about the coffee, it also comes along, or questions about a judge's ruling. This team is responsive and answers as quickly as possible. And they also monitor discussions on social media. So the information we gain by that helps us to shape and adjust the communications. And it contributes to building and maintaining trust and interact with the public. Every year we do Facebook Live sessions where people can ask questions to the judges. And well, I think it helps to contribute to public trust. Lately, we noticed that the character of social media is changing. I think you also know what's changing in the world about that, and we're struggling with it. Should we continue using those platforms like X and Facebook, or should we not? And I'm very curious to see how other European countries approach this. So, seeing the time, I'm going to wrap it up. In 2021, we adopted a new, as an organization, we adopted a new mission and vision, and it aligns seamlessly with the communications goals, because we want to safeguard rights and freedoms. We want to uphold the democratic rule of law. We want to ensure the proper application of law and decision by an independent and impartial judge. And we want to be accessible, punctual, transparent, responsive to social development, and justified. So I think that gives us many opportunities to communicate proactively in the future. So I'm looking forward to continuing what I do.